CNN's data analyst Harry Enten has just dropped a bombshell on the Democrats' hopes for taking back Congress, and it's a comparison between Democrat approval back in 2018 when they went on to win 40 seats in the midterm that year, and public approval of the Democrats today as we speak. Roll it.
They were actually on the plus side of the ledger. They were actually in positive territory at plus 1 point. Look now in 2026. We're not just talking down there underneath the Potomac. We're talking down there with the Titanic. We're talking 24 points underwater. And this is just the party overall. This isn't the congressional leadership. This is the party. The party. It's just a terrible, terrible, terrible brand. Terrible. I want to almost get my Charles Barkley. Terrible, terrible. I can't even do a Charles Barkley. But the bottom line is it's absolutely terrible.
Now, we don't need to look very far to see what Harry Enten is talking about here. According to the latest Quinnipiac poll, the Democrats have fallen to an approval rating of just 17%. 70% disapprove. So that's even worse than what Harry Enten found. That's a minus 53 below water. I mean, things are absolutely abysmal for this dying party. And so, of course, the fundamental question is why? Why are the Democrats in such a polling freefall? Here again is Harry Enten.
Now, what is the reasons? Why is the Democratic brand so terrible? Well, one reason why the Democratic brand is so terrible at this point in the voters' minds is, take a look at this trend line. Voters saying that Democrats are too liberal. In 1996, it was 42%. In 2013, it was 58%. Now, the clear majority of Americans believe, and the clear majority of voters say that the Democratic Party is too liberal. 57%, they think that the Democratic Party is out of the mainstream, out of the frame, I dare say. My God, this is a massive, massive problem.
Did you know that U.S. life expectancy peaked at 78 years back in 2014? Scientists have discovered that kimchi actually slows the aging process of human cells. And now you can get all the benefits of kimchi in a simple capsule with Kimchi One. Give them a call right now at 888-597-0233. Remember, if you call them, you get 50% off plus free shipping. That's 888-597-0233. It is a massive problem, and we need look no further than what just happened in Michigan last week, because this is the single clearest example of what's happening to the Democrat Party as a whole right now as we speak. Remember, Michigan was supposed to be an easy hold for the Democrats. They weren't going to spend a dime in that race. Michigan hasn't voted for a Republican senator since 1994, in 30 years. But then the party's radical activist base went and nominated Abdul El-Sayed, a bona fide Democrat socialist. He's literally a communist. And he barely won a bruising primary over the more moderate establishment candidate, Congresswoman Haley Stevens. He won by less than 1 percentage point. He vastly underperformed his polling. I mean, you had polls that had El-Sayed up by 14 points in the days leading up to the primary, 10 points, 16 points, and he barely squeaked by with just 1%. It was a bitter, expensive primary that left the party bloody and divided. But in the immediate aftermath after that primary, polling averages tracking the general election against Republican Mike Rogers show this race has completely flipped. Real Clear Politics has Rogers up a point in the post-primary average, and other trackers like 270 to Win and Decision Desk show Rogers with leads ranging from 2 to nearly 5 points. Now, you compare that to what the race looked like before the primary, when Democrats had an 80% chance of winning, according to the prediction markets. I mean, you can see just how fast this seat has collapsed for the Democrats. That number's cratered. That in the prediction markets, that number's cratered down now to the 50s, with Republican win probability nearly doubling just since last week, since El-Sayed won. A seat that Democrats were supposed to run away with is now a genuine dogfight, maybe even a Republican favorite. And again, we're learning why from the demographic breakdown of the primary vote. CNN's own election analysis found that El-Sayed won exactly zero of the 15 Michigan counties with the lowest share of college degrees in the primary. 0. While sweeping 13 of the 15 counties with the highest share of college degrees. In other words, the guy running on I'm a working class populist message got demolished with actual working class voters. And instead, he is the most popular man on the planet with affluent, college degreed white progressives. That is not a coalition, gang. That's an inversion of those these socialists claim to represent. And a poll commissioned by Michigan's own largest teachers union actually found El Sayed trailing Rogers by 7 points in a general election matchup, while the more moderate Stevens was actually running neck and neck with Rogers. The union that's supposed to be a core Democrat constituency is quietly telling its own party that the socialist candidate can't win. And that's exactly the conclusion of none other than veteran Democrat pollster Mark Penn.
Mark, you worked with Bill Clinton. How are Democrats dealing with this political collision?
Well, you know, look, this is a political implosion of the Democratic Party. To have your Senate nominees, and I agree with Senator Fetterman, palling around with Hasan Piker, anti-American, anti-Semitic, anti-capitalist, really the most extreme kind of policies which are anathema to Bill Clinton Democrats, right, who were trying to bring the country together, move it forward, get rid of poverty, balance the budget, do those great things for America. So this party is veering off of the rails. Will it come back? It's frankly going to take the Republican and independent voters to bring it back and to show where America really stands.